Alright, take 4. If I can get all the crap off the screen. Take 4. Back in my day, they just called everything programs. And, like, they were all built to be used. Companies didn't care about squeezing every ounce of profit out of you that they possibly could. Sure, they would protect their interests and, make you buy things, as companies are wont to do. But they made things simple. They made things easy to use. There wasn't proprietary this, specialty that. There wasn't such a huge learning curve in trying to use new programs and new technologies. And darn, was it not as expensive. I'm sure if you're as old as I am, you remember back in the day when you bought a computer, it came pre-installed with a bunch of different programs that you would need to run a computer. Like, you got Paint, you got Word, you got all this other crap, and it was free. And you could use it for as long as you owned that computer. They don't do that anymore. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that doesn't have $200 to just snap down and buy whatever fancy pants editing program or fancy pants recording program. I'm also not the type to have a very good computer. Let's face it. The reason why this video, this one long rant, is in so many pieces is because I don't know what's important to have in a computer. And more importantly, I don't have the money for a good computer. It's like, even if I got one of those big time fancy pants gaming computers, I used to have one. It broke. Let's not get into why it broke, but it broke. And it would cost just as much to fix it as it would cost to buy a new one. As you can guess by the fact that I've gone through 3 more computers after that, affording a computer isn't easy. And of course, like, the industry as it is now, it's an industry now. Everything's about how popular you are, and how much influence you have, and how many views you get. It wasn't like that when I started. You didn't do that when I was started. It wasn't ever about the money. It wasn't supposed to be about money. Money was a thing that you dreamed about on occasion while doing your day job, because everybody had day jobs, and they weren't day jobs, they were actual jobs. But then somebody cracked the formula accidentally, on purpose, whatever, and they figured out you could make money, and they did. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not begrudging them their discovery, but they certainly did make it far harder for a simple hobbyist like myself to make any progress. And my god, the things that YouTube is competing with now just don't make any damn sense to me. They don't. And I know I sound like such an old person, but like now YouTube has to compete with streaming. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people like streaming and that's cool. You know, you get to have the one-on-one interaction with your streamer and you get to ask them questions and be replied to and you know, feel like you're in the room and that you know the person. And like for people who are not me, that is a great thing. Like I said, not very social. Trying to talk to people is difficult for me. So, talking to people in that fashion, it was great for my popularity, not so much for my sanity. And, like, yeah, I can admit it was a little fun. It was a little fun. Like, that first little coaxing about when people actually wanted to hear more of what I had to say, that was fun. But I can't compete in a space like that. I'm not social enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not clever enough. And I'm definitely not happy go lucky enough. And worse yet, since after COVID, there's there's VTubing and PNG tubing. And like these people these people, my god, the opinions I have on the way they do things. The heaving flames on the side of my face because I just don't agree with what their industry has done to the ecosystem. Where I just don't think they get treated fairly. Where I don't think they treat people fairly. The VTubers themselves, the agencies aside, treat their viewers fairly. The companies treat the VTubers unfairly. It's all a big mess. And I'm pretty upset about it. And it's like, well, who am I upset at? People who found a way to make a living in this crazy world? That's not fair. Am I upset at the companies? Well, yes. Do I have a good reason to be upset at the companies? If you ask me, I do. But it's not like one guy living in the middle of nowhere is going to be able to change that whole thing. Like, it's a good cause. No one wants anyone to be exploited. No one wants people to be treated badly. But you can't stop it. Unless you were able to rally such a huge number of people and march up to a company and say, we the people decree that what you do is wrong and you need to stop, they do not care. And 9 times out of 10, even if you do get enough people together at one point in time to do that, they still might not care. And it's like, there are people who like streaming. It's not their fault that they do streaming and, like, there's bad stuff connected to it. There are people who like being VTubers. There are people who like being PNG tubers. There are some people who have very good reasons for why they do what they do and how they do what they do. Like, I'm not dumb, I'm just biased. But I don't like it, and it's not for me. I wish no ill will on anybody who does better than I do, by hook, by hook or otherwise. I wish I could do the same thing, but I can't. And I'm sure many of you are like, oh, Al, you person on the internet, you can do that. You just have to get the right programs and the right technology, and you too can be a bouncing anime girl. And you're right. Oh boy, are you right. I've had friends show up and offer to make me a bouncing anime girl. And I would be lying from the depths of hell, from the very depths of hell, if I did not say it was so tempting. If not only so that I could use my newfound power to hold up a mirror to the people I don't like and be like, see, this is what you're doing. Don't you realize how harmful it is? Even if they don't deserve it. Because some of them do, but some of them don't. I realize that. It would be so tempting. So tempting to just have a friend of mine make a thing and pull it off just long enough to be able to make money off of it. But I don't want to do that. I'm too honest. That's deceitful. That's harmful. It's disgusting. Yeah, sorry about that. It's harmful. It's deceitful. It's disgusting. I don't want to do it. Even if there is money involved. Even if I could use it to solve my problems, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to use other people like that. And especially in such a scene as VTubing, as YouTubing, as influencer. Your personality and your integrity is supposed to be the keystone of everything you do. I could not put on this show. I could not put on this act and be all fake, smiley, and jokey and hyperactive without being disgusted with myself. I could not lie to myself like that. I could not lie to people like that. And I know not everybody's a bad person. I know not everyone's out to get people. Not everyone's preying on the innocent. But it sure feels like it. Especially in that industry. Especially at this point in time. Like, I want to see things change. I want to see things get better. But it's not going to happen. And I can sit here and I can shout into my megaphone as much as I want, as hard as I can. And even if I do get thousands upon thousands of people to hear me, it's not going to be enough. But, you know, that that's the point. Sometimes doing the right thing is not easy. Or at least trying to do the right thing isn't easy. It's like being an artist, being a singer. You need to do your job, you need to make money, and sometimes you have to compromise your virtues and ideals for it. And like, does compromising make you a bad person? No. You're trying to survive. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, do I wish that I was up on that stage? Yes. Do I wish that I was the one doing that? Yes. Am I talented enough to do it? No. Am I professional enough to do it? No. That life would eat me alive. Everything would go straight to my head. I would end up hurting myself and so many people. And I suppose the moral of that story is leave things to the professionals. As professional as you can be for like agencies and things that have only cropped up in like the I want to say about 10 years. Like, we can all hope for the best, and that's about all we can do. We can all make our own small contributions. We can all try and fight in our own way to make the world better. And, well, this part doesn't fit here, but let's face it, everyone needs to be encouraged to do a little good, don't they? I've lost my train of thought. I think I've said everything I've wanted to say. If if you agree with me, then that's great. If you don't agree with me, that's fine too. You know, you're probably not a bad person. You've probably just led a different life from me and understand things differently. For all I know, you probably have a way better understanding of how things work than I do, because Lord knows I don't understand what the heck's going on.